St. John's Cemetery. We are now outside of St. John's Cemetery and the ruins of Kells Priory of the Knights Hospitaliers of St. John of Jerusalem. The Hospitaliers were invited to Kells by Walter de Lacy, son of Hugh de Lacy, in 1199. Walter set up the hospital of the Crutched Friars of St. John the Baptist here. At the time of the dissolution of the monasteries during King Henry VIII's reign, the church was the only surviving structure of the priory. The church was still standing, though in a very ruinous condition in the mid-17th century. The wall of the cemetery was reinforced in 2002, as there were fears that the graveyard would collapse outwards onto the street. The Knights Hospitaliers were founded in Italy in 1113 to protect pilgrims on the way to Jerusalem. They were a religious and military order, and following the conquest of the Holy Land by Islamic forces, operated from the islands of Rhodes, over which they were sovereign, and later from Malta, where it administered a vassal state under the Spanish Viceroy of Sicily. These days you might come across them in the guise of the ambulance men of the Order of Malta at large sporting and other events. In 1834, the order, by this time known as the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, acquired new headquarters in Rome, where they have remained since. As of 2013, the order has about 98,000 members and operates in about 120 countries across the world, providing ambulance services, establishing shelters and soup kitchens to help the homeless and the hungry. On entering the graveyard, at the top of the steps, you will see a chart produced recently of the inhabitants of the cemetery. Make your way up to the end of the cemetery and turn right. Here along the wall you will find a medieval grave slab known locally as the abbess, depicting a lady wearing a linen wimple and carrying a tow stick in her right hand. However, some think that the slab may actually depict a medieval knight in full chainmail armour. Note the mature yew trees within the cemetery, particularly to the north of the interior, where the ground rises towards the centre before falling away again along the southern boundary. Yew trees are particularly associated with graveyards in Ireland. They have been planted in places such as this for centuries, stretching back into early medieval times, as the yew tree denotes sanctuary and protection. Indeed, the writer Gerald of Wales noted an incident in Finglas, County Dublin, when he was travelling around Ireland at the time of the Norman invasion. He wrote about a group of archers who chopped down ash and yew trees that were growing around a churchyard. The unsuspecting archers were struck down with a sudden pestilence that killed almost all of them. This story illustrates the powerful place trees such as the yew hold in Irish folklore and their connection with death and eternity. When you are ready, leave the graveyard and make your way into the town of Kells, staying on the right-hand side of the road. The town hall will be on your right. Stop here.